what's up? Welcome to another video. Today we're watching True Facts by Z Frank about Beetles. Let's go, guys. Who's your favorite Beetle? Write it in the comments. And also, if you like my content, please like and subscribe. Yippee!
This episode sponsored by Ground News. Now, if you don't know what a beetle is, it's basically an insect that, well, they can be a bit much.
Beetles are so cool.
Like, look at Pepper here.
Like, look at those colors. Can you believe that these are like, this is nature, everyone. This is an animal, and it has these colors. Like, holy shit.
Looking all distracted like she's trying to remember the grocery list she forgot back at the house. Come on, you see it. But look at what she's wearing. It's like 10 a.m. and she's out in a fancy house coat like that.
Oh my god!
And then this pulls a friggin' Buzz Lightyear. And that's with a lot of them too. You know, can't just fly, has to be a whole production. Like those Transformer movies. But anyways, that's one of the things that makes beetles beetle-ish to begin with. You know, the old school flying insects had 2 pairs of wings.
That's the Bug VTuber! Oh my god, welcome! Hi, I'm a Snail Vtuber. Hello.
Extra if you made out of rock. Now, some modern insects, like the dragonfly, kept that arrangement.
Oh my
Others,
god!
like the housefly, got into performance flying. Their back pair of wings shrunk down and evolved into these little stubby organs that help with balance. Oh, for God's sake, Jerry, tell them to go to the bathroom before the shot. But the beetles, they went for something a bit more hardcore. Over time, their front pair of wings hardened, eventually becoming an extension of their external skeleton.
These look wild.
Now, these elytra, as they're called, act sort of like a hard-shell sunglass case for that back pair of wings. That lets them hang.
I only know beetles, well, from Animal Crossing, because, you know, some beetles in Animal Crossing are, like, really, valuable. So,
out on the ground and dig or whatever they do without having
I don't know the English names, though, because I always played Animal Crossing in German.
Worry about getting a wing nicked. Now, you'll notice there's often quite a bit of wing
I love
folded up
ladybugs.
underneath
They're
those
so
elytra.
cute.
Looks cool when it all pops open, like when you use your mom's tiny umbrella. You know the one.
Beetles are kind of like, what is it? They look so like cyber. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
But then, when you're done with your flying, you got to put the tent back in the bag. Now, this might not look like much, like pulling the whole thing in with kegels, but what's happening is some complex origami, except they're sort of doing it with their butt. This here is what a wing looks like when it's all packed up. And there's a very specific set of folds that have to happen. You can see the first couple happen while the wing's outside. Then, using the elytra as a sort of guide, they do the rest with their abdomen. And then the whole thing ends with this little fold that acts sort of like a
origami,
latch. Holds it all in place so it doesn't pop out accidentally. And then, of course, you have each species of flying beetle have to have its own folding pattern.
Ooh. My favorite is this one. It looks like a fairy's wing. Look, there's hairy ones even. I didn't know wings can, or I assumed those are like hairs. I didn't know beetles, there are beetles with like hairy wings. Oh my god. Yeah, very cool, right?
Pattern. And then you've got these obsessive science hippies that have to figure them all out. But if you want to see some serious wing folding, you gotta go talk to a rove beetle. Now, some rove beetles found the elytra to be a bit restrictive.
I didn't know they
wanted to hang out in little tunnels and tight places, maybe get cozy with some ants or hunt them, whatever floats your boat. But to do that, you need a little flexibility, and if you have a full-length elytra, it's like wearing a trench coat made of metal. So over time, their elytra shrunk down to a little bitty thing, and you'd think with that arrangement the wings would follow suit and shrink down too, but no. They've got wings for days tucked up in there. Look at that.
Oh
now,
my
you can
god!
imagine it's a bit of a trick to pack that little backpack up. In this case, the
I wish I had wings like that. Elytra Minecraft? Oh my god, you're so correct. Oh my god, guys, the elytra, like, just like the Minecraft movie. I know, right, it is? Like, I've never thought of it like that.
Wings aren't just individually folded, but rather they're folded into each other.
Hello, East German
German
Radio
flexible
fan,
hiney go to waste
welcome.
either. I mean, it's like their version of using your tongue to tie a knot in a cherry stem. And the way they do it isn't symmetrical. Each wing has a different set of folding creases. But it gets even crazier. They can do this starting with the left wing on top, or the other way, where the right wing starts
What? It's like, oh my god!
on top. And that
They're
means
actually
that
pushing
each
it in with their
individual wing
butt.
has 2 different sets of folding creases. And they're still strong enough to fly. I mean, that's not origami, that's crazy shitagami. Now, you know what they say about dudes with small backpacks.
Yes, you should. You should watch the Minecraft movie. It's very silly.
Well, a lot of beetles have some serious equipment to begin with. I mean, look at the junk on that leaf beetle fella. And what's amazing is they have an extra pair of wings in there. Just kidding. But it's big enough, isn't it? Now, they do it a little different than we do it. The males have this sort of sack of sperm that they need to deliver to a kind of sperm holding station inside the female.
I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know how to feel about this. I didn't think I would see... Wait, how is it called for bugs or for beetles? Because for snails it's snakes. But what is it called for beetles? Becks? No, beaks. That doesn't work well. I know it's nature, but oh my god, beating. You're correct.
And the inside of the female can get a little complicated. So anyways, there's this one rove beetle who has a really long, it's not what you think, it's a flagellum. Now the sperm doesn't go through the flagellum.
I like this one. I like this graphic with just the arrow pointing and it just says vagina in the most basic font. I don't know why this is so funny to me.
Rather, the flagellum is used to guide that sperm sac closer to where it's supposed to go. But here's the problem. When it's done, it has to be retracted into a coil, kind of like a vacuum cleaner power cord. But to do it without tangles, it has to be kept under tension. So after sex, they've got this awkward decoupling.
Oh my
at one point,
God.
that baby maker is slung over his shoulder. And let me tell you, this is what happens when you let sex get on the steering wheel of evolution. Starts getting ridiculous. I mean, I get it, the females have to figure out who to mate with. But come on, they should be looking for a sense of humor, a sexy voice. Not that. What is it, some kind of elaborate headgear that you use to prove yourself against another male? It's not even a fight to the death, it's a fight to the shame. You know, because she...
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, how do beetles choose their partner? But of course, it's the horns. That makes sense.
She's watching and she's encouraging it. But the whole thing's rigged. I mean, if your fighting style is essentially face judo, of course the one with the bigger parts is going to win. And then the offspring has the bigger parts and run that on repeat. I don't know. Maybe they look sexy in a bar fight.
Shit.
But try sleeping next to that for 20 years.
Oh, they're
Get smacked in the head every time he rolls over.
God.
And I'm sure some of the males aren't that thrilled either. I mean, you know, there's times where the giraffe weevil wishes the ladies were into something like biceps. But no, it's all about the neck. And they get teased. You look like a can opener with a swollen testicle. You look like a pretentious desk lamp from the 90s. Or you long-necked f***. But honestly, I'd take this arrangement over the ones they call giraffe weevils in New Zealand. At least here, you got your eyes up front, like a giraffe. In these ones, the eyes are back here. Makes you wonder.
Oh my god, that's so silly! If you have your eyes... What? All the way
People
there?
in New Zealand have never seen a giraffe. Oh sure, they're the ones with the giant nose, right?
It's
anyway,
so
you can
silly.
See two
What do you mean it's like
males here engaged in a schnoz fight with a female in the middle. And that seems to have done it. So he mounts the female and, well, he's feeling pretty good about himself.
What?
And that's how...
That was so fast. Holy. Your antenna are on your head, but your eyes are on your face. True. But that's like, because I'm silly too. They're silly and I'm also silly.
You get it done.
A little bit.
Unless Big Steve comes around. Big Steve don't give a shit about your tiny ass nose. But the problem is that Big Steve can't always see what's under him so good. If you look close here, you can see another male wedged himself into the driver's seat. Sort of lost the battle but won the war.
Oh.
You know, one of the first places I learned about beetles was at a USDA lab at the Smithsonian. Unfortunately, the USDA and many other science hippies I work with are facing devastating cuts to their funding. One thing I'm increasingly interested in is how news sources are framing this and whether people are paying attention. And for that, Ground News is excellent. It's a website and app that gathers news from around the world and organizes it by story. And you get a clear visual breakdown of political bias, reliability, and even ownership. So in this story about the USDA losing 15,000 people that help keep our food safe, around 60 outlets reported on it, but only 19% are from the right. So if you mostly follow right-leaning media, you might not have seen it. And that's the approach that Ground News takes with all the important topics. Ground News also has a dedicated blind spot feed. It shows you stories being ignored by one side or the other of the political spectrum. Sometimes knowing what isn't being talked about is just as important as what is. It's a challenging time to get full context of news, and Ground News helps.
Check out,
Head to
check it out, everyone.
Or scan my QR code, and you'll save 40% on the same Vantage plan I use for unlimited access to all their features. Subscribe today. Where were we?
There you go.
Oh, right. It's
I'm not gonna
always
cut
about
it because
advantages
it's still, it's still
and fighting.
too,
Sometimes.
I'm always leaving in stuff because, what is it called? I'm always leaving in, what is it called? Sponsorships, yeah. Because I want to support Z Frank.
It's about being clingy. These male longhorn beetles
But it's fine, it's politics, but it's, like, it's neutral. It's not like anyone, right?
legs like twice the size of the females, and they get a little protective. I mean, it feels like a little bit of a red flag to me, but he makes sure that nobody else inseminates her, and she gets a chance to put the eggs he just fertilized into cracks. But the male forked fungus beetle went literal on the cleanliness. When he finds a female he likes, he just holds on for dear life. Here, you can see there's another male there trying to pry him off. They've got these little horns up front that they can kind of wedge in there for leverage. But this isn't about the horns, this is about grip strength. And they've got plenty. They can resist a force 600 times their body weight. And right there is how the science hippies figured that out. But listen, whatever it is, from a long neck to a tight hug, you have to commit to it. Gotta lean into that kink. Look at the dung beetle. When they were starting out...
About the weight, it's actually insane if you think about it. Like, insects are so much stronger than humans, like in, you know, in comparison, if you look at the weight and like how do you say that? The proportions. I think it's insane.
I mean, I think at that point they were just juggling shit, nothing fancy. The other beetles laughed their heads off. But you know what? The male dung beetle said, if she's into balls of shit, then I'm gonna make the best and biggest ball
What's the cube slaw?
There is. Whoop, oh boy.
Also, dung beetles are so goofy. Why are they making balls of shit?
I tell you that, but uphill can be a real bitch for a dung beetle.
They're so
anyway,
silly.
Fast forward, and they're like one of the most famous beetles. Who's laughing now? Over time, their bodies have evolved into dung-rolling machines. Look at this one. His face is basically...
No! Proportional increase in size. Its new surface area. Oh, okay. So it's like math, physics, something.
A spork, and the front legs are studded with shark teeth. They use those like garden tools to excavate the dung in the first place. And they also come in handy if someone else is getting touchy-touchy with dung you found first. Whoa! Now the middle legs don't have those saw blades on them.
Do you think, is there like more desirable dung? Like, do they prefer some dung over other dung because it like smells more or smells better?
Back the ball down and smooth it out with some help from the tum-tums. Nothing half-ass about. If anything, it's a whole-ass situation.
Moldy
now,
shit
the legs in the back, they've got the toughest job. Because to roll the ball, the beetle essentially does a handstand and then uses the back legs to push it. It's like an ab workout you'd find in the Devil's Hit class. And if that's not hard enough, you gotta fight other males off who are trying to steal your shit. You know, in the end, it's all worth it. When you're rolling that ball and you know she's gonna lay her eggs in it, and she gives you that look, she's not helping. She's not even pregnant. She can't even push a little bit. And you know
oh my god. Dung beetles are literally born in shit. Oh, that's kind of sad. Oh my god.
Sometimes she gets on top and friggin' rides it. And it's bullshit, I think. But listening to me talk like this, you might think that all beetles do is fight and have sex. No, they also spend a significant amount of time trying to be not dead. This one here's not doing the best job at that. I mean, that bird's basically cracking it open like it's a nut. I'll tell you, there's one beetle that had enough of that and essentially became uncrackable. Also, just gonna throw it out there, looks a bit like a walking cat turd. The diabolical ironclad beetle ditched the flying and fused its elytra together and to its body with seams of interlocking
don't taste
parts.
all the good.
If you look closer, you can see that those parts are made out of lots of layers, designed to peel apart and absorb force. These beetles can withstand forces around 39,000 times their body weight.
Yo!
I mean, that's like if you could withstand a force 39,000 times your body weight. Jerry, that's not helpful. Now there's another beetle they call
Bruh,
the desert
I
ironclad.
thought he was actually gonna bring an example.
Beetle, but they're really not quite as ironclad, and they know it too. So you know what they do when they're threatened? They play dead. It's smart. You gotta know your limits. Now I don't know when the beef started between the beetles and the frogs and toads, but I will say the young ones need to slow the frick down and think about it before they put it in their mouth. Case in point, this one swallows a bombardier beetle. Hour and a half later, vomits it right back up.
Ew.
The beetle's like, come on, man, we both knew this was gonna happen. And now
it's still alive! Oh my god!
It made me miss yoga, because bombardier beetles have put quite a bit of effort into not being eaten. On the fly, they can mix these two chemicals in their abdomen, which together create a boomy boom boom fizz fizz reaction, which sends out a spray of boiling hot poison liquid.
Hell, yeah.
Now, a lot of the time, they'll pop that thing off before they get swallowed. Now, I'm not an expert on frog body language, but I don't think it likes it. It looks like
he's just going crazy.
Like somebody who burned the roof of their mouth with a slice of pizza. Anyway, each generation has to learn this the hard way.
My God.
Here's a frog that knows what's up. Took a tiny taste and had a flashback and spit that right out. Now, if you happen to be swallowed by a frog and you don't know how to make bombs in your butt, there's another option. Sometimes when you're at your lowest point, you gotta go deeper. And that's what the
what the heck?
water scavenger beetle does. Heads for the exit, the other one. And if you want to know what that feels like, I think those leg shakes paint the picture. Honey,
it is kind of disgusting.
No, I don't think so. The cream got rid of the hemorrhoids. Well, nothing different than usual. I just sat down to have a poo. What's it look like? Hold on. Holy
Ew! Oh my god. Oh,
hey,
is
Stretch,
anything...
when it gets cold, do you shrink back down to normal size? You look like a rejected audition for E.T.'s finger. You look like Reed Richards on a bender. Niche. Hey, bud, put on some clothes. You're all naked. You look like an Allen wrench with a pimple.
God.
You look like my grandma's ear cleaning finger. Hey,
what?
dickhead.
Ew.
Sort of simple.
What's an ear cleaning finger? Anyway, thank you so much for watching YouTube. Please, go check out Frank and like and subscribe to him, like all his videos and subscribe to him. And also, if you like this video, please like this video and subscribe to me and come over to Twitch to watch me live. Yippee! Thank you again for 10,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. Bye, YouTube. Bye-bye.